Hey everybody, so in this video we're going to talk about how to do unit conversions. In the unit that we're discussing, we're talking about the sizes of different atomic bombs, right? Some of them are megatons in scale, right? The more recent ones. And like the Tsar Bomba was measured in megaton yields of TNT. And the ones that were used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki were measured in kiloton scales. Right? So that means that you have to know how to use prefixes in order to explain sizes. So we learned, using these definitions of prefixes, that each prefix has a base 10 numeric feature with it. So kilo means 10 to the third, and mega means 10 to the sixth. What this video is going to do is show how to convert between one unit and another, so you end up with a multiplication conversion that allows you to do unit conversions. And that will show up in the third quiz. But this first quiz is using what you can call a ladder method to be able to go between one unit and another. So in our first couple of examples here, let's take a look at if we had kilometers and we were trying to convert something to meters. We need to be able to identify the prefixes that are present in these two units, right? The meter part is the base unit, and we need to figure out what the prefix is in front of that. Well, here you can see that there's a prefix in front of the word meter, right, to measure distance, and the kilo is 10 to the third. So we're going to write 10 to the third. But notice that there's no prefix in front of meters here, which means that the unit that we're referring to here is the base unit, which is 10 to the 0. So we're going to write that. Now if we want to find the multiplication conversion to use in unit conversions, we have to divide these two numbers. Always. When you divide two numbers that have the same base, you can subtract the exponents. So it would be 3 minus 0, which of course is 3. So the multiplication conversion to go from kilometers to meters is 10 to the third. And that's it. In the third video, I'll go over how to use this multiplication conversion. You can probably tell you're going to be multiplying by it. Let's look at it in reverse. We're going from meters to kilometers. Notice in this example, the unit is actually getting bigger. In this first example up here, the unit went from something bigger to something smaller, and notice what happened. The multiplication conversion is actually larger than 1. It's 1,000, 10 to the third. In the second example, we're going in reverse. The unit's going from a smaller unit, meters, to kilometers. So, meters is the base unit, because it has no prefix in the front. And kilometers, the prefix kilo means 10 to the third. So, we're going to divide these two numbers, 10 to the 0 divided by 10 to the third, so it's 0 minus 3, and that would be negative 3. So the answer, the multiplication conversion to go from meters to kilometers, is 10 to the negative 3. Notice when the unit gets bigger, the multiplication conversion gets smaller. It's always the opposite, if that helps you memorize. So let's do from one prefix unit to another. It doesn't matter which one we pick. We're going to go from mega to milli. Mega to milli. And we're going to just write gram next to it. That's how we weigh something in the metric system. So, what does the prefix mega mean? Well, we look on this scale, right? And mega here means 10 to the sixth. And milli means 10 to the negative 3. So we go from megagrams to milligrams. We divide 10 to the 6th by 10 to the negative 3, which means we subtract 6 minus negative 3. Now remember, when you subtract a negative number, you end up with a positive. These become positive after you subtract. 6 minus negative 3, 6 plus 3 is 9. And that means the multiplication factor from megagrams to milligrams is 10 to the 9th. Notice the unit's getting smaller, megagrams to milligrams, so the multiplication conversion gets bigger. And that's it. That's how you convert from one prefix to another using this ladder or step method. So lastly, we'll try one more question, and you can pause the video before we do it. We're going to go from microliters, liters is the measurement of volume, to deciliters. So pause the video, try it out, see if you get the right answer. Okay, here we go. Microliters, we look on our scale here. Micro is 10 to the negative 6. Deci is 10 to the negative 1. We divide them. We always divide to get the multiplication conversion, and I'll make this more obvious in the third step of this series of videos and learning. 10 to the negative 6 divided by 10 to the negative 1. Remember, we subtract. Always put the one that you start first and the one that you're trying to finish with last. Negative 6 minus negative 1. So that becomes, as right, you're subtracting a negative number, so you're going to add it, right? The two negatives become a positive. So negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. So the answer is 10 to the negative 5. Notice the number is smaller than 1. So it's getting smaller. Well, when you go from microliters to deciliters, the unit's actually getting bigger. So the multiplication conversion is getting smaller. So I hope this helps. Remember to do the practice and check your answers. And if you need help, you can ask me. Have a good day. Bye.